Score one for the good guy.
Victory is ours.
We did it, darlings!
All is well that ends well. Temple on top of a mountain. What connect suddenly benefits from divine protection of some kind. Yggdrasil fell to earth not far from here, yet the temple buildings escaped in...
I know that face. That man is a knight of Heliodor. Heliodorian swine! You think that your blockade will break us? Think again. The disciples of Angrila are made of sterner stuff, as you will soon see.
What in the... These movements must be intended to confound us.
Enough! All... Is this how we treat visitors? As your High Lama, I order you to stand down.
Your Holiness, these people are not visitors. They are soldiers of Heliodor. We cannot be sure of their intentions.
Soldiers of Heliodor, you say? The tall one, perhaps, but his young friend does not look like a military man to me. I sense a great power within you. Tell me, young man, are you the luminary?
Incredible. He divined your true identity with a single glance.
How long we have waited for this day. Please, you must forgive my disciples' discourtesy. Their training is incomplete. Welcome to Anguilla, honored luminary. It would please me if you would join me in the high hall at the top of the...
Strange child, but remarkably perceptive for one so young. There is more to him than meets... Well, we have come this far. We might as well make our way to this high hall of theirs. See what he has...
I welcome you once again to Angri-La, honored luminary. As I believe you know, it is my privilege...
I am to address you as Your Holiness, correct? Might I ask what you and your people know of my companion?
Why, everything, of course. We have awaited his coming ever since the day he entered this world.
Waiting for him? What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I say, nothing more. Tell me, do you recognize the symbol on this banner? It is the emblem of Dundrasil. Since the age of heroes, the princes of that nation have come here to train with us for 6 years. Your young friend was born a prince of Dundrasil. Thus did we expect him to come here as a boy and study under the great Grand Master Pang. Sadly,
So if fate had been kinder, you would have spent a good part of your childhood here. What of his tutor, this Grand Master Pang you speak of?
When the Lord of Shadows brought the world tree low, the Master set out to summon a magical mandala to protect the temple from destruction. The spell succeeded, but its power was too great. Grand Master Pang.
A noble sacrifice indeed.
Now that the Master is gone, it falls to me to guide you. Come to the field of discipline. It lies...
It is a shame that the Grand Master cannot be here. I would have liked to meet one so noble. Come, let us see what His Holiness has in store.
Beyond those doors lies the field of discipline, where students of Angri-La strive for enlightenment. Before we tread upon this hallowed ground, let me tell you a little of our history, and of the luminary of legend himself, Erdwin. Before setting out to defeat the Dark One, Erdwin came to our temple to learn from the Wise Ones, who made their homes here even then. The first Grand Master, i.e., accepted him as a disciple and trained him in the secrets of spirit. But he did not train alone. During his time here, he met someone
Who was this person?
another of I.Yi's disciples, a young mage whose talent outshone that of all who had come before. A man, Erdwin and Morkant would train together every day, each striving to outstrip the other. Though they were fierce rivals, they became firm. When their training was complete, Morkant joined with Erdwin in his quest to slay the Dark One. Without Morkant's magic, he might never have prevailed. Before setting out, they carved an inscription into this stone, a pledge of eternal friendship.
Morkant. I have not heard the name before.
Now allow me to show you to the field of discipline, if you would. Welcome to the field of discipline. Since the age of heroes, many a would-be warrior. If your karma had been different, this is where you would have trained under Grand Master Pang. Like, I have brought you here so that you might stand in the footsteps of your ancestors. An unbroken line leading all the way back. Even your grandfather, Lord Robert, completed his training here. The memory of his achievements...
His achievements?
Pang was a harsh master. With this implement, disciples whose efforts were lacking were given motivation directly to their fundament. During the course of his 6 years of tuition, your grandfather's right honourable posterior was paddled an unprecedented 10. The tale of Lord Robert's road to enlightenment lives on to this day. Every disciple knows that he must focus at all times, lest he face the same fate.
A legendary achievement indeed.
You are worried for your grandfather, yes? Do not be. Lord Robert overcame every challenge set for him by the Grand Master, and emerged stronger. The fall of the World Tree would not have been enough to extinguish one so resilient. He is alive. Tonight there will be a modest feast in the High Hall to celebrate your long-awaited arrival. We would be greatly honoured. We may not be able to aid you as we would have done were Master Pang still with us, but in this respect at least, we can provide.
Awake at last, It is high time we were on our way. If the Grand Master was still alive, perhaps we might have learned something to help us in our fight against the Lord of Shadows. Sadly, it was...
And the hermit, what news of him?
Forgive us, Your Holiness. The monsters on the mountain path were too strong.
I see.
Your Holiness, is there a problem?
Yes, Sir Hendrik. I fear there is. You see, 2 weeks ago a hermit visited us, unannounced.
Alone? Whatever for?
That I do not know. The moment he heard that Master Pang had passed away, he ran from the temple. The mountain has become infested with monsters, emboldened and strengthened by the rise of the Lord of... This being so, I dispatched a group of disciples to return him to safety. As you can see...
I have trained all my life for a moment such as this, and yet I have failed in my first true test.
Might we be able to offer some assistance?
I thank you for your kindness, but you are guests here. I cannot
A knight of Heliodor does not abandon an innocent... These people have shown us great kindness. It is only right that we do them a kindness in return.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, but I cannot allow you to bear this burden. We must depart for the summit of Mount Panglai without delay. After exiting the temple, we will take...
Triumph was never in doubt.
victory!
My strength grows ever greater.
We did it, darlings!
It seems we are too late. Is this the hermit we came in search of?
Unfortunately so. He was in deep meditation when he breathed his last. I am glad at least that he was prepared. But that posture, it is awful. Uniquely awful. I know it from somewhere.
Incredible! Issue 1 of the Ogler's Digest. And in indeed. It seems our friend here made his peace with the world. But this is one of the royal treasures of Dundrasil. By the skies! Can it really be?
Lord Robert!
Your grandfather was Master Pang's most fervent disciple. Can he have chosen to follow his...
No, he is still breathing.
What?
His spirit hovers in the place between life and death. It is only a matter of time before he passes the point of no return. But there may yet be a way to save him. If you were to follow him into the void, you might be...
But how? Is this it?
The ancient teachings tell us that the summit of Mount Panglai stands at the crossroads between this world and the next. If you will permit me, I can perform an ancient rite that will send you to the place between worlds. But it is not a decision to be taken lightly. Once that place is entered, there is no guarantee of... Well, will you take that chance? Will you visit the void and bring Lord Robert back to us? Very well. I will prepare for the... It is time to depart for the place to which every soul must go. But...
What is this foolish dance?
Another wandering soul drifts into my domain. Welcome. Destiny is cruel indeed to send me one. This may be a fruitless question, given the vacant expression you wear, but do you know what fate? Oh, you poor young fool. Let me unburden you of at least... I will explain in simple terms that even an idiot may understand. As you see, before Yggdrasil fell, departed souls would come here before returning to the World Tree. But now that the tree is gone, it is a place with an entrance but no exit. What I'm trying to tell you is that you will never leave this world. As long as the cycle of souls is interrupted, all who die will suffer the same fate. Until at last, the Lord of Shadows this is your destiny. Or do you cling to the vain hope that the heart of Yggdrasil may be recovered from Mordegon's clutches? And yet, you would not be alone in your foolishness. Some people just don't know when to give up. Did you think that he chose death out of a sense of despair? He came here with hope in his heart. The hope that your grandfather came to find me so that I might teach him the last of my secrets. You know who I am, of course. Foolish child. I am Pang, Grand Master of Angrila. Do you see? The precise pattern of movements draws energy from the ether and channels it to create the mandala of Yggdrasil. This is the final secret. He has been flailing away like this ever since he arrived here. It is not good for him, but when the great sigil is complete, he will have mastery over a power not seen since the Age of Heroes. Get out, knight! Don't you dare give up now! I'll beat your bottom black and blue, I swear it! Well, would you look at that? Perhaps...
Hey! Did you see that? I finally did it! Oh, it was beautiful!
Yes, very impressive. I thought you had...
Jinx! Grandmaster Pang! Was that... praise? Woohoo! For the first time in my long life, she's actually paid me a compliment. Oh, that's warmed my...
Perhaps if you could stop congratulating yourself for one moment and squint beyond the...
Oh my! Is it really you, laddie? Oh, not you as well. Your poor young life snatched away from you.
Oh, stop your snivelling. The book...
He's what? But what's he doing here?
He and his friends found your body and sent his soul from the world above to bring you back.
Ah, really? But I only came here to... And you went to all that trouble. As you can see, I'm perfectly fine. Finer than ever, in fact. Now that I've learned the final secret, you and me are going to be unstoppable. Come on, let's get back to our bodies and show that lord...
Stop right there!
I can't thank you enough for all you've done, Grandmaster. But now that my training's finished, I need to be on my way.
Finished? Oh, but honoured luminary, if you would like to follow me. Your grandfather has mastered the last secret of Angri-La. He now has the power to send enemies straight to the beyond. It is a technique first devised in the Age of Heroes by Morkant. Brother, for you, I have a technique no less impressive. It was devised by Erdwin himself during his training with Yi, our first Grand Master. And it will give you strength beyond reckoning, Luminary.
Well, that can't be a bad thing. Me with Morkant's spell and you with Erdwin's attack.
If you can master it. None since Erdwin has been able to do... The training you must undergo to acquire this power will be more intense. Well, do you think you have what it takes? I knew you would make the right choice. The first step is to focus your mental energies and call forth a blade of pure light. good as can be expected for a first attempt. The heat of battle
Battle? You mean you're going to fight him? Oh, no, the poor lad's not ready.
Me? Why would I rumple my nice clean robe when I have you to do...
What? You're...
Who better, Lord Robert? You have mastered all our secrets now. There is no one better suited to the task. And besides, I've always wanted to see two princes of Dundrasil battling it out. Let me know when you are ready to begin. Before we continue, allow me to give your grandfather an...
Oh. 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 Oh, aye! I've not felt this alive in decades.
That's the spirit. Don't hold back. Show him the true power of our last and greatest secret.
Just you.
Luminary, prepare yourself. The more you use it, the stronger it will become. You must practice until it is...
Here I come, laddie. It's time to show you what this old... Surrender your soul! This'll make your blood run cold!
Another wandering soul drifts into my domain. Destiny is... This may be a freak... Do you... Let... I will explain before, but no... What I... As long as the cycle of souls is... This is your destiny. Accept it. Or do you cling... You know who I am? The precise... He has... But when the... Get out now! Where?
Hey! Did you...
Shanks.
Stop you. He and his...
Finer than...
Stop.
I can't...
On... If you would... Your it is... For you, it was...
Well, that...
If the train... Where? I knew the first... As good as...
But...
Me... Who... And besides... before we continue, oh yes, wonderful. I must say, I doubted you had it in you, but you have proved me wrong. The power of the technique comes from your hone, that greatest of weapons, and none. Now, I think it's time we peeled that old degenerate off the flagstones, don't you?
You beat me, even with the last secret of Angry-La in my side. Oh.
You weren't too much of an embarrassment, no.
Oh.
So this is where you have been hiding.
Wait, I know that voice.
Mordigan.
Sniveling worms. You thought to escape my clutches by cowering here in this ruined world.
No! Curse you! I had thought your powers could not... So inconsiderate. There was one last thing I wanted to teach you. seems we must do it the hard way. Ugh. You two will just have...
What? So the last secret of Angri-La wasn't the last one?
Of course not, foolish man. There is another. A supreme skill devised by Grandmaster Ai. Well, don't just stand there. Combine your powers. Revive the tech so that I can die.
You dare to resist me?
You must do exactly as I say. Exactly when I say it. Robert, do not think. Act. Use the technique I taught you. Now, Luminary! Unleash Quadra Slash! Yes, the last and greatest of all the secrets of Angri-La. Solar Flare!
He is back with us. But he is greatly weakened. We must get...
Ah. You are finally awake. Good. I feared... Lord Robert awoke a short while ago. He's outside speaking with the High Lama. We should join them.
Hello there, laddie. Better late than never. What are you staring at me like that for?
It is your physique, Lord Robert. You were...
Oh, that! Nothing a good breakfast couldn't cure. Aye, the Grand Master put me through work.
Lord Robert has told me what came to pass in the void, that you met Grand Master Pang, and that she trained you in the ancient arts. I hear that you were even able to master the ultimate abilities of your ancestor Erdwin. You have my congratulations.
And I hear that I owe you a debt of thanks, Sir Henrik, for looking after the boy here while I was away.
Please think nothing of it, my lord. It is the least I could do to make amends for all the wrongs I have done.
Ah, don't torture yourself over it, son. We've all been pawns and Mordek.
Thank you. Truly. What do you intend to do now? We had hoped to find guidance here.
Well, funnily enough, I was just thinking about something Grandmaster Pang told me. She said old Erdwin used a very special form of transport when he went after the Dark One. Some sort of sacred flying contraption.
Whatever could that mean?
I didn't get the chance to ask her any more about it. But it sounds like just what we need to get up to that castle and knock Mordigan off his... As for our old friends, none of them were exactly the giving up type, eh? If I'm still alive and kicking, you can bet the rest of them are out there. So, what say we head over to Arborea and keep an eye out for our pals on the way? If this flying doodad's supposed to be sacred, there's no time to lose. The longer we wait, the stronger Mordigan gets. So, let's get going.
Honored Luminary, we disciples of Angri-La will do all that we can to aid you in your preparations to take on the... We have even devised a special training regime for you. Visit us again soon. We will start...
Aye.
victory is ours.
We did it, darling!
It's a wee bit stormy all of a sudden.
Sylvando, this ship of yours is not about to sink, is it?
Don't mention the S word! I'll have us out of this in just a jiffy!
I smell.
That voice, where is it coming from?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tremble before the mighty Alizarin, faithful servant. You dare to enter my realm unbidden. No.
You're the one who'll be paying, you great big slimy so-and-so. Are you having me on? I just blasted you with pearly gates and you barely even flinched.
The awe with which my lord and master entrusted me renders all... Now join me in the blackest... And what, might I ask, are you staring at? All right, all right. What? No. Still no good.
Not settling on a particular form, That rather makes me think. In your world, I am known as the seer. I take on different appearances for different people, you see. By which I mean to say that I look different. But enough about me. How's the fishing? Caught anything? No, I didn't think so. You're not ready yet, you see. When the fish finally takes the bait, you must be ready to reel it in. But until then, you have no choice. You know, I have the strangest feeling I've met one of your companions. Eric, was it? Well, no matter. We are not here to discuss him. Come, let us go inside. Take your seat. Make yourself at home. Now, the fact that you're here makes me wonder if you might have taken a bit. Ah, so that's it. Worried we've lost the power of the luminary, are we? Well, I'm afraid there's not much I can do about that. But you may think that your power has been taken from you by the Lord of but power cannot be taken, no more than it can be touched, or especially not the power. Still no idea what I'm talking about, huh? Well, no matter. I think that's enough for now. Let me leave you with this thought. When the time comes, you will know. You will feel the tug on... Oh, that's right. You're drowning, aren't you? That won't do at all. Well, don't fret. A certain sacred tree tells me it's not your time. Right. We'd better get you woken up, hadn't we? You are the loop. Go. Save the world.
Darling, you're alive! Oh, thank goodness.
When you took that tumble into the sea back there, we all thought you were done for, laddie. Oh, it was terrible. We tried to fish you out, but you slipped beneath the waves before we could get to you. But then, well, it was nothing short of a miracle. There was a bright light, and suddenly, somehow we managed to pull you out of the water, give that big, slimy so-and-so the slip, and get here to safety. I still don't know quite how we did it.
What's the matter, honey? You look like you've seen a ghost. You're kidding. You were fishing and you met a person called the Seer and they turned into a... Oh, come on, silly Billy. You were just dreaming, that's all. You were out for a long time.
You have been through quite an ordeal. You need rest. As...
Whoop.
Put courage in your heart and lightning in your hand.
There'll be time enough for staring out to sea tomorrow, laddie.
Such pain. Such despair. I am helpless, powerless. If only I could go back, I would gladly accept eternal.
Please, hear my plea.
So we all had the same dream, eh? Just like people have been saying. The poor knight, the moaning his fate.
Oh, it was tragic. He looked so desperate. I wish there was something we could do to help, but we don't know who he is. Or...
Maybe not. But that was Dracilian armour he was wearing. There's no doubt about that. What do you say, laddie? Shall we go and see what's become of Dundrasil now that this blasted darkness has... surrender your soul! Victory! Flame consume thee! All is well that ends well. heavens. This place was in ruins the last time we came. Where was I? Would you boys do me a favor and shift this little lot?
Well, don't just stand there, darling. If I'm getting my hands dirty, you are too.
Where does this stairway lead, Lord Robert?
To an underground passage that runs beneath the castle. It was meant to allow the royal family to flee should Dundrasil ever come under attack. Right. Let's get in there and see if we can find some clues to the edge.
Such pain. How dare you? How dare you? You took everything. You destroyed.
I'm keen to have a wee chat with our friend here, but something tells me he's got other things in mind.
Blackness consume you!
Pull your socks up.
victory is ours.
Such pain. You took my beloved Eleanor. You took my boy.
Eleanor? But that's the old queen's name, which would make you...
Erwin, last king of Dundrasil. A great man, and a fine warrior too, and, most importantly of all, your father. I'm sorry that... What happened to you, Erwin? Come on, laddie. What in the...
At last you have come. Long have I waited for a kindly soul to free my restless night.
The voice from the dream.
You are correct, of course. Before you kneels Erwin, king. All those long years ago, on that darkest of days, he fought to the last. But with time, that light has waned, and all that remains is the tortured soul you see before you. Lost between... I beg of you, help him, free him from his nightmare.
The voice. It's gone again. Who is she?
That'll have to wait. Erwin here needs our help. But what are we supposed to do to help him?
Well then, I need to make you nice and miserable before I do. Such pain. I am helpless.
Of course. We've been waiting a long time.
King Erwin, it is a great honor to be invited to celebrate this most special of days with...
The birth of your son and heir is a source of great joy and happiness to...
Thank you. Thank you. Aye, this is a momentous day for Dundrasil. I am truly humbled to be lucky enough to celebrate it with you all. My dear Sultan, King Gustav, allow me to welcome you both to Dundrasil. You honor us with your presence.
The honor is all ours, King Erwin. Truly it has been far too long. 1,000 thanks for preparing such lavish feast. Though, of course, we are not here merely to celebrate. Today's colloquy of kings shall determine the fate of Erdrea for I, for one, mean to see that my people's interests are well represented. You will forgive me if I grow a little passionate.
It is the first time the rulers of the four kingdoms have ever gathered under one roof, you know. A momentous occasion indeed. But the reason itself is a momentous one, of course. The birth of an heir to the title of
Indeed it is. Thank you once again for agreeing to meet so readily. Now, I have some final preparations to make before we convene the colloquy. I will come and... Guards! I don't suppose any of you have seen King Carnelian?
Yes, sire. King Carnelian is walking the grounds with Lord Robert, sire.
King Carnelian, Lord Robert, I will be convening the colloquy shortly, if you'd like to make ready.
Lord Robert informs me that the boy bears the mark, that he is the luminary reborn.
That's right, aye. I've decided to present him to you all at the colloquy. The sight of so many people gathered to celebrate his birth has brought home to me how important he is. How much...
Save it for the meeting, Owen.
Don't take it to heart, laddie. The fate of all Erdrea hangs on the luminary now. Not everyone's going to be happy about that. Right, it's nearly time. Why don't you go and fetch the wee one from Eleanor's chambers?
He's so tiny. Can I touch him, Lady Eleanor? I promise I'll be careful.
I think he likes you, Jade. He's a very special boy, you know. They call him the Luminary. People have all... But I just hope he grows up to be like his father. That he can help people to overcome their problems.
I hope he grows up to be nice and kind like you, Lady Eleanor. King Erwin!
The colloquy's about to start, Eleanor. Will you hand me the wee one? All right, wee man. Let's go and talk to some scary old men, shall we? Don't worry. Daddy'll look after you.
Oh, Erwin. You don't need to hold on to him so tight, you know. Would you look at it thundering away out there? And on such a special...
Come on now, Eleanor. There's nothing to worry about. We'll keep you safe no matter what, won't we, wee man?
And what about me,
Hey, you don't need me to protect you, Jade. You've got King Carnelian. Your dad's a force to be reckoned with, and no mistake. Right. We better get this meeting started.
Good luck. Both of you.
This child, he is the one?
He bears the mark. There's no mistaking it. Dark One riseth, tree descendeth, luminary, man defendeth, light's mark shineth, hand extendeth. With his coming, black...
The final poem in the Book of Erdwin.
The legends tell us that the Dark One was defeated by the Luminary in the Age of Heroes, bringing eternal peace to the world. But, as I'm sure you haven't failed to notice, monsters walk the land once more. The peace of Erdrea is under threat.
The kingdom of Svardsrust has already fallen at the wicked creature's hands, and King Arnut with it. He will be sorely missed.
And now a child has been born who bears the mark, which brings us to a reason for gathering here today. What does all this mean for Erdrea?
You speak of the Dark One, of monsters running wild, of the peace of centuries crumbling. Now that the luminary is among us, the balance can be restored, the peace can be maintained. All is well, is it not?
You believe that the presence of the luminary will ensure that peace prevails? Forgive me, Lord Robert, but the Book of Erdwin contains another poem concerning this matter, does it not?
It does. The very first poem. The prophecy. World tree's gift, first of many, bold, bright, blessed luminary. Thy light doth a shadow cast. Lo, the Dark One, bleak, black, vast.
What are the two of you implying? That the luminary causes the appearance of the Dark One?
Without light there cannot be shadow. Without darkness the stars cannot shine. This has always been the way of the world. Darkness and light must coexist. So, indeed, the birth of the luminary may well be what...
You dare to imply that my son is somehow the source of our troubles? That the luminary isn't a force for good?
Can we be certain that he is? Evil does not always take a monstrous form. You must have noticed the sinister glow emitted by Erdwin's lantern of late. Ever since your child was born.
What are you trying to...
Oh. The star sings at night, you know. I have heard it. It sings of Erdrea's destruction.
King Gustav is right.
Ah, don't you start.
Ominous footsteps approach. We all hear them. As the leaders of this world, we owe it to our people to root out even when that source is painfully close to home.
Why don't you just come out and say it? You're asking me to kill my own son. My own flesh and blood.
Something happened. Not long before the child was born. I'm sure some of you saw it.
blinding light shot up from Yggdrasil and set the sky aglow. For a moment, it seemed that night we saw that same light on the evening he was born. It was shining from the mark on his hand. The child is a force for good. I have never been more certain of anything. He did not give rise to the darkness. Light and dark are not two sides of the same coin. The light of the lumen...
A rousing performance indeed. Of course, if you had shown even a whit less conviction, we would have... The luminary is the child of Yggdrasil. He alone can bring light to the world.
I hope you will forgive us our little test, but we had to be sure how strongly you believed.
I am satisfied. Send him to Heliodor when he comes of age. He will be trained in all that he will need to fulfill his destiny. We must confer upon the luminary the power to lead us all.
King Carnelian, everyone,
Very good. The most pressing item on our agenda is dealt with, and it ended just as I knew it would.
Now the matter is settled. Our kingdoms are united in their purpose.
Let all be as Yggdrasil wills it.
That concludes the colloquy. Now, all that remains is to introduce the luminary to his...
Thank you, King Carnelian. My friends, I'd like to thank you all for coming.
Your Majesty!
What is it?
You must flee the palace immediately.
We're under attack. Everyone, we have to get out of here now.
Where is the luminary's book?
They have come in force, but they shall not have the... Lord Robert and I will keep them at bay. Take Eleanor and the child and flee the castle. Now!
But King Carnelian, this is suicide!
You need not fret on my behalf. I am not in my dotage just yet.
Thank you, both of you.
You're alive. Oh, thank the heavens. When we saw the monsters coming, we feared the worst for you both.
Never mind that now. We need to get out of here, all of us. Come on. No matter what happens, I will get you out of here. I promise. Let's go. We should be able to get out through here.
I feel his presence. Give him to me.
Just you try and take him.
The monsters are everywhere.
If they've made it this far around the castle, they must have the place surrounded. We'll have to use the tunnels. This way. I think... Quickly, in we go, before the monsters find us. Time to make a break for it. I'll deal with him. Get out of here.
But Erwin...
Run! And don't look back! All right, you despicable creatures. Do ya? It's not over yet. And stay down. King Carnelian? Over here, Your Majesty!
King Carnelian? What in the... Who are you? What do you think you're doing? Your Majesty!
Erwin, is that you? What?
You're all right. Thank goodness. Jade's with Eleanor and the wee one, Your Majesty. They made it safely out of the castle.
I see. Good. Very good. I shall send my forces after them.
Your Majesty, what do you...
The bloodline of the luminary ends here today.
King Carnelian? Your Majesty? Sire. Forgive me. I was unable to find you. I thank the heavens that you are unhurt. King Erwin.
I had no choice. He came at me in a frenzy. Queen Eleanor has absconded with the luminary, and with my daughter.
Surely not. Whatever would possess them to commit such acts?
The birth of the child has put them both under great pressure. It has also caused the coming of the monsters, the loss of countless lives. Perhaps the coming of the luminary does bring darkness in its wake. After all. Yes, I see now. He is not our savior. He... the child of evil. The dark spawn. He must be found and dealt with. The peace of Erdrea must not be permitted to collapse. Find him.
Sire.
No. He is no harbinger. Someone, please. King Carnelian must be stopped. Eleanor, please. Forgive me.
I am the Gloomnivore. And this one's misery is just exquisite, which is why I've been drawing out his torture for all these years. But even the most fabulous feasts must... How does your despair compare, I wonder? Give yourself to misery. This is your most painful memory.
You could not protect your friends. You could wallow in it, marinate your...
Can you hear me? Please, you must listen. There is a light inside you that can... It is waiting, biding its time. But it is the... Now is that time. You are the luminary. You must conquer the darkness.
This light is...
What's happening?
You're back with us, laddie.
This light. Disgusting.
This is the beast responsible for King Erwin's suffering. We must defeat it.
You dare disturb, no matter your scream.
And stay down.
Where am I? Wait. Those eyes. I'd know them anywhere. Son, is it really you? It was you who saved me, wasn't it?
You're back. You're back to your old self at last.
Eleanor?
Our son has freed you. Despair no longer holds you captive. You are free to join me after all these years.
I am, my love. I am.
My dear son, my darling boy, many hardships await you. Many trials lie ahead. But you let the light of hope, the light inside you, be your guide. And remember, we will always watch over you. Farewell, my darling. I love you so much.
Goodbye, my little one. Goodbye, Erwin. I hope...
Honey, your hand!
The mark. It's glowing again.
The luminary is restored to us, and all...